Hey everybody, it's another short video, Course in Miracles. I'm Sue Ann Okerwall, and I'm going to do about correcting and helping, those two subjects real quickly, according to the Course in Miracles. And as I said in the first video, it was like a Course in Miracles intro, was that I tend to stay in a very calm, right-minded place. And then when I see something, it will like trigger a particular topic. And then that will be something of interest to teach myself. So first of all, with correcting and helping, if one was to realize what is on page 1, Introduction Manual for Teachers, that talks about we help no one but ourselves, and this we learn by teaching, that we will come to know that that correcting and helping is really just about our own mind. It's really not about any people or world that appears to be out there that is not correctable and not being available for helping, should I say. So, and the reason is because of several other principles in the Course, such as there is no world and ideas leave not their source. So if ideas leave not their source, then there was no projection of oneself or even a body or a world outside of God's mind. So nothing actually left there. So there's nothing to help or correct in the world itself. And as it says, true healing is the mind healing, returning to the mind, and especially the right mind. The first thing that has to happen is you return to just your mind in general, and then you've realized that you've made a wrong choice, a choice that causes pain and suffering. So then it is very easy to see, once you see that there is an observer observing an entire world, that you don't necessarily have to be entered into that character any longer. Okay, so correcting, also we learned that the Holy Spirit, that wording, that label, is as if there's an entity that is the correction principle. And this actually overlooks what a person is saying that they are in their upset, their anger, their temporary happiness, their temporary sadness, whatever appears to be going on, that the Holy Spirit overlooks that. So you will end up doing the exact same thing because you are no different than the Holy Spirit or God. In true oneness, there's just one. So there's not all these separations even of these ideas of Jesus, Holy Spirit, and then the Son of God, all these different, they're basically made up, but helpful terminology. So let's see, now we've handled the correction principle. Okay, so if you happen to appear as if you're correcting a brother, so a lot of people get very upset that you're not supposed to correct a brother. However, that is what the Holy Spirit always does. It's in your own mind. So there really is no brother out there. That is a symbol of what is in your mind already. So if one happens to read something in a Course in Miracles group, Facebook page, like I said, Facebook is my preferred platform. And so if you happen to see something there and then you listen in your mind, this is what looking at thoughts is about. You look in your mind and you're just watching your reactions, your feelings about something that you read, and you do not wander out into thinking that there's a person or there's a Facebook. You are just listening in your mind because that is where this reaction is occurring. And so as you're looking in your own mind, then the correction begins to happen. But it has to be on page 401 of the workbook, which is called What is Forgiveness? That's that section that talks about the looking, the waiting, and the judging not. So you're looking at your reactions and you're waiting. You're actually kind of feeling typically bad feelings, So you're feeling that and you're waiting. And the judging not means that you don't have like a second thought. You don't have more thoughts about the first reaction. If you do, then you look at those and you just keep going until there's just quietness, and you're not, giving more answers. You're not giving yourself answers. Because remember, it says that the ego speaks first and very loudly. The Holy Spirit is like second and very quiet and calm. So you are waiting for that, to hear that. Then you may find yourself typing an answer. Now, this quote unquote brother that appears to be outside of you, that hero of the dream, which is completely separate from you, and just like in the laws of chaos, believes that its truth is significant and only for itself, may think that you are attacking it. Because anytime you see something as separate, then you are always going to be either feeling you're attacked or waiting for an attack, without exception. I mean, even a coaster that you put underneath your glass that falls off on the floor, you feel attacked. I mean, even the simplest things, a drip on the floor. So I'm saying there's no exceptions whatsoever to this. So that is what correction is about. So you're correcting in your own mind, and it has nothing to do with the other person. If you see another reaction as if it's from outside of yourself, it's really just from in your mind again. So you may then respond a second time after you are listening and waiting for that quiet correction in your mind, where it will spring forth just words of, I want to say words of wisdom, but you will just know it almost does not even feel like from yourself, because you're so used to being a character, and it feels like different. It feels loving and flowing. But like I said, it may not be accepted that way in what appears to be a brother. So then that bit comes back. You notice that in your mind, and you are watching your reactions again. So this is what the looking throughout all the day and all the night is about. So it's constantly doing that. It's not Facebook things either, or Course in Miracles. It's your boss, your husband, your wife, your dog, your bills, on and on and on. Everything and anything. Okay, so now the idea of helping. So traditionally, we know that helping is that you say, okay, there is a problem in a brother. There's a brother separate from me, and I'm going to go help them. And I think I know what they need, and I think I must know what I need, because then I'm going to go help them. So this is assuming that there is a world, that there are separate brothers, that there are problems, and that they need correction, and they need helping. So all of these are false thoughts, because there is nothing wrong with anything. Literally, this tiny mad idea of separation never occurred and never could occur, because it's impossible. The only thing that sort of seems to have occurred is that we believe it occurred in a desire to make it as if it occurred. So it is a weird conundrum, because it seems to fold upon itself, and people will say, well, how can this be, right? And that will be a perennial question. The ego always has all these questions and no answers. And then when you cross the bridge, and you're in the right mind, there are no questions and all answers. So everything always is the opposite of what we've been thinking. It's completely upside down. And what we're seeing is completely different than what we think we're seeing. But what is really happening is completely different from what we think we're seeing. So there's really actually no one out there that needs helping. Now, will you appear to help people? Will you appear to do things? Yes, because as I've said over and over again, it appears as if two things are going on. There's you that's crossed the bridge, that has now remembered your memories and remembers in awareness of what is really happening in the right mind, that there's just oneness. And then there's back across the bridge, there appears to be this script, this movie that's playing that keeps on going, and you appear to still be showing up in it. And it has already been filmed and it's already done. So if you find yourself adopting a dog from the shelter, or helping a person at a shelter, then those things were already like filmed on there, if you want to call it that. But it is already written, it's already there. And you can literally stand back and just stay on the other side of the bridge. And the body and all its goings on completely take care of itself because it already happened. We're merely reviewing in the mind that which already happened as if for the first time. Wow, I'm right at 10 minutes. Okay, that's it, folks.